Good evening, everyone. If you would please stand, if you're able, for the presentation of colors by the Orange County Sheriff's Department's Honor Guard. Please remain standing until the guard has left the building. Thank you.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Star, and thank you again to the St. John's and Friends. Please give them a strong round of applause. I want to hear it from you. Thank you, Star. Mwah. Okay, good evening, everyone. Boy, we have a fun-filled evening for you all. Yes, please sit. Thank you. So sorry. Did you enjoy the day? Okay. Well, in case you don't know it, my name is Lori Fahey, and I'm the President and CEO of the Family Café. And it's my honor now to invite some folks to come up to the stage and help me with the next part of our presentation. But while they're coming up, I just want to, Jim DeBogren, our board chair, Jeremy Countryman, Vice President of the Family Café. And while he's getting up here on stage, I just wanted to, I hope you all enjoying yourselves. You walked too far, you're tired, sit back and relax and enjoy. If you need a door prize ticket, please raise your hand. Ready, guys? Okay. So here at the Family Café, we like to honor our volunteers. And this evening, we have the opportunity to give out an award, our Silver Spoon Award. And I have asked Jeremy Countryman to present this distinguished award on behalf of the Family Cafe office. So, Jeremy.
Thanks, Lori. Thanks, everybody, for being here tonight. How's it going? That's what I like to hear. So it's a real honor and a pleasure to be giving this award tonight to a couple of outstanding individuals who have really enhanced the work of the Family Cafe over a period of many years. I just learned one of them has been with us since 2001, which is even longer than I thought. So one of the things we believe in here at the Family Cafe is that our role is to provide information and resources and chances to connect for all types of families who are living the disability experience here in Florida. And these two individuals came to us more than 10 years ago and helped us recognize that there was a particular population that was in need of a unique kind of service, and those are families of active duty military members. As you may know, the disability experience in military families is a little bit different than that in families who are in one place for their entire lives. They move around, they go to different locations and installations, and it's a challenge to get connected with the services that their children and family members need in those places. But fortunately, there's this thing out there that are called liaison officers who help connect military families with local special education resources. And here in Florida, we have something called the Military Special Needs Family Network. And it was created by our two Silver Spoon recipients this evening. And it's my pleasure to welcome them to the stage now. They are Dr. Maria Barkmeyer and Scott Seven. So come on up. Part where I drop it. Here, you hold that one for a second. Should I just yell? There we go. Congratulations, Maria and Scott. And of course, this is the best part here. They will now join the Family Cafe Silver Spoon Hall of Fame. So you can see going all the way back to the year 2000. And Vicki, are you out there? Our photographer? There she, oh, she's right here. Here we go. Yeah, you're hiding behind the screen. Okay, so if we want to all squeeze in for a nice photo. All right. Thank you, Maria and Scott, and thank you for helping us. You know, you brought the whole military track to the Family Cafe and helped us serve a whole different segment of the population here in Florida, and we really value that. We appreciate everything you've done with us and for us over the years. So thanks very much. It's an award well deserved.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah. You want this? You want that? Probably that.
Thank you all so much. Family Cafe has been such a great support for our military families with special needs and with the providers who come here and collaborate with us and learn about all the resources that are available here in the state of Florida. So I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Family Cafe.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to Lori, Jeremy, all the Family Cafe volunteers and staff over the years. It's been an absolute pleasure coming here, but most importantly, thank you to the families. You're the reason why we're here and why we're going to continue to be here and provide support and do what we can. So thank you all very much and appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Lori, you can just go to the podium mic if you want. You can start talking on that mic. You don't need this one.
Together as a team.
Okay, check this out. Here's the best part. You each get one of these to take home. There. Go hang that over your fireplace. There you go.
right, thank you so much, and congratulations again. Well, welcome everyone. I'm Jim DeBogren. I am the chairman of the board of directors for Family Cafe, and thank you. And I'm here to introduce our very special guest for the evening, or one of our very special guests for the evening, a gentleman that I've considered a close personal friend for going on decades now, and also a tremendous friend to the Family Cafe, and not yet. Let's give him. And beyond the Family Cafe, just a tremendous friend to Floridians with unique abilities across the state. And I don't really think he needs an introduction. He's very familiar to all of you, and a frequent special guest of ours. Let me introduce Senator Bill Galvano.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim. And congratulations, Scott and Maria. Fantastic work. And welcome to the Hall of Fame, as is said. How are you all doing tonight? 27 years. 27 years. You know, my first Family Cafe, I believe, was 2002. Governor Bush was the governor at the time. And I had the opportunity to spend some time with him last week, and I told him I was coming here, and he had very fond things to say about the experience, and was just impressed about how it has grown. And I can tell you it's become a part of the fabric of my life. And there are many people that I see out here tonight that we visited with before this started that are friends, long-term friends. And I really, really appreciate that. And I appreciate Lori and her team, and Jim and Joe and Jeremy and everybody who comes together every year to provide this opportunity, not just for information and practicality, but for fellowship and unity, and to recognize what an important part of the state of Florida this community is. And so I'm honored to be here, and I've always believed it was a benefit to the entire state to advocate for persons with unique abilities, and have continued to do so even after my actual tenure. And I do stay involved, and I see some of my, now, I guess you're my colleagues still here. And let me tell you, the legislature has had a long go this year. They literally, it's probably right now putting the budget on the desk, and it has to wait for 72 hours, and they're finally going to finish up on Monday. But we did well here at Family Cafe by the Florida legislature, and you should give them a round of applause. They really did. And I see my dear friend here, Senator Jay Collins. I'm so pleased that he's up there advocating on so many different issues, and especially the issues that are unique and priorities to this organization and to the people that attend here. Jay Collins, here, stand up and say hello to everybody, or just wave. I also see here Representative Harris, who I've come to know, and it's a pleasure to see you here, and thank you for your advocacy. And again, folks, the legislature has done well this year, but we got to keep fighting. I mean, it never ends. Every year is a new year. The great thing about the state of Florida is that we have a balanced budget, so we don't borrow money and put ourselves in debt like they do somewhere up north called Washington. But at the same time, what that means is that we have to advocate and fight for every dollar that gets allocated each year, and there are a lot of folks in this room that have done that. I know I will continue to do that, and the legislators that are here have done that. I think we're going to be joined by some others later. I think Representative Carlos Guillermo Smith and Representative Escamani they are here. Or Joe's? Where is? There he is. Why are you hiding in the middle of the room? There he is. Thank you, Representative, for being here. Thank you for your advocacy. So, again, this is such an important summit, and it's such an important event, the Family Cafe. And I hope you continue to realize what it takes to bring something like this together, what the team has to do, but it's a labor of love more than anything else, and it really, in my opinion, makes a difference in so many lives. And it's made a difference in my life, and it's also a great way of informing people and spreading the message. And so I will continue to be a great friend to the Family Cafe. I'll be a regular at the Family Cafe. And I, again, am so pleased and honored that I can spend a little time with you here today and tonight. So, thank you. So at this time, I have the privilege of introducing a very special video of another governor that has been a friend to the Family Cafe, the 45th governor of the state of Florida, who in 2018 became our United States Senator. And this is a man that I've had the privilege of working very closely with through the years, and someone who I believe has been extremely focused in improving the lives of Floridians and making sure that there's productivity and the opportunities for everyone, especially those with interest in this room. And so it's my pleasure to introduce, are you ready to tee it up? Not yet? Oh, they're getting it teed up? You know who I'm talking about.
Scott.
Yeah,
It
U.S.
is an
Senator
honor to
Rick
join you
Scott.
at the 27th Annual Family Cafe. I am so grateful for the work that you do. And it's why, as governor, I was proud to be a part of this incredible event. Now, as your United States Senator, I'm committed to building on our work together to make sure individuals with unique abilities have every opportunity to live full, happy lives. Thank you again for having me, and God bless.
So I remember a few times with Governor Scott here, we did obviously the ceremonious things that we do up here on the stage, but he never left until the last person who wanted to have a picture with him or to speak with him did. And I remember on 2 occasions, it was almost 10 o'clock. Yes. So legislators, please come up here that I've introduced. Now that we've heard from our United States Senator, I'd like you to have an opportunity to say a few words to this distinguished crowd. And that includes you, Representative Guillermo Smith.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Good evening. How's everybody feeling? Is everybody having a good time? Yeah, everybody's enjoying the beautiful hotel. Everybody's getting to see everybody they haven't seen all year, all that fun stuff, catching up, sharing stories. It's always a wonderful time to be together in community. My name is Representative Rita Harris. I am proud to represent House District 44 in the Florida House, which happens to be where you are right now. So welcome to the district. It is always a joy to have you here and to celebrate with you. I wanted to briefly talk about a bill that was not able to pass, but that I filed along with Senator Smith. It was a Medicaid buy-in bill for people with disabilities, and I really want to talk about it because it's important. It was a bill that would have allowed people with disabilities to buy into Medicaid. So it wouldn't have been anything that was free. It would have given people the opportunity to buy into Medicaid so that they could keep their services. And we know that for so many people, their services are life-saving. They're why they can have quality of life. But unfortunately, because of the way it's set up, they can't make a threshold above a threshold. And I feel like a job is more than just a way to pay a check. A job is a way where a lot of people gain purpose. And part of what we want to give our communities with disabilities is a feeling that they can live to their fullest potential, and that they can, yes, absolutely. that people can live to their fullest potential, that they can have a career and that they can earn money and that they can have independence and still be able to have access to those services. So something that's very important to me. And I made a promise when I first ran that bill in my very first session that I would continue running it until it passed or I termed out. And I'm going to keep that promise because I believe that people should have the right to dignity and the right to be able to fulfill their dreams and to make money and be able to be independent. So I just want to also really thank you all again for being here. And it is always such a pleasure to be at this event. It is one of the warmest events with the kindest people. I always feel so welcome when I walk in the room. And I just want to thank everybody again for being here. Thank you.
Well, hello and welcome back to Orlando. Welcome to Central Florida. I'm Carlos Guillermo Smith. I'm a state senator. I represent Senate District 17. And I have always prioritized, thank you for that, championing the needs of people living with disabilities. Representative Harris just mentioned one of the bills that we worked on together this year to try to advance to expand Medicaid and have a Medicaid buy-in for folks with disabilities, because we know that we have a real problem and in fact a crisis in our state, specifically around I-budget waiver wait lists. I learned as a member of the Florida House a couple years into my service a painful reality that so many of you live with every single day, which is that Florida's I-budget waiver waitlist program, which you know is a program that can help people with disabilities live and work in their communities with services like personal supports to help with daily life activities that are needed. The waiting list for those services is 22,000 people long. You all know the painful reality. You know it because 40% of those individuals on that wait list, 40% have been on the wait list for more than 10 years. And unfortunately, some individuals will pass away while on the waiting list waiting for services. I think it is a critical goal and mission. It should be a critical goal and mission of the Florida legislature, and certainly is mine as a state senator, to go beyond reducing that waiting list and getting people enrolled in services, but to eliminate that waiting list altogether by getting folks connected with the services that they need. But it's a big goal. It's a big goal that's going to certainly require a lot of advocacy and a lot of money, as we know, which is tight. And that legislation that we partnered with Representative Harris on was one way of trying to chip away at that goal and advance progress towards that goal. But then there's another bill I want to tell you about that actually did make significant progress in this legislative session. It was one that I was proud to introduce with Orlando State House Representative Anna Viescamani, and that was Senate Bill 412, which was known as the Right to Repair for Powered Wheelchairs. And basically what this legislation does is it gives consumers and owners of powered wheelchairs the freedom to make choices and actually bring their wheelchair to an independent repair provider or be able to have the tools that they need to repair their power chair themselves, while actually putting, finally, regulations on the manufacturers of those powered wheelchairs to say that they have to be able to share parts to consumers and independent repair providers who ask for them at a reasonable cost, and that they need to be more transparent about the wait times that they impose to do simple things to repair your wheelchair. Not complicated repairs. I'm talking about just replacing a seat belt on your power chair, which many of you know can take more than weeks, sometimes months, to make simple repairs because manufacturers have a monopoly over who is able to conduct those repairs, which is them. So I got it passed unanimously in its first Senate committee this year, which we were really excited about. And we were really proud really proud, thanks to many advocates at Disability Rights Florida to get that done. And actually, to her credit, Representative Escamani got it passed not only unanimously through all House committees, she passed it off the floor of the Florida House of Representatives. So that's an indication that you've got champions in Tallahassee from both political parties in a bipartisan fashion. So I'm committed to growing that bipartisan coalition behind the right to repair for powered wheelchairs so that we can do everything that we can to empower people with disabilities on all fronts to be able to make the choices that they need to at affordable cost, but also to be able to live and work in your communities. So thank you. I'm honored by the invitation. Again, I'm Senator Carlos Guillermo Smith. You can follow me at Carlos G. Smith. And it is great to be here. It's an honor to be here at the Family Cafe. Welcome again to Orlando.
Well, thank you, Carlos. It was good to hear from you. Guys, it's good to be here again. How many of you were here last year when we did this and I got to speak? Yeah? Man, it's such a privilege to be here. It really is. And if it's okay, I'm going to share a little bit about my story for those who maybe didn't know, because I think it's really important to share certain parts of this. So my name is Jay Collins. I represent Tampa, Florida. I'm a state senator, but I'm a dad and a husband, right? Those are the two things that most define who I am. And I want to echo something that Senator Smith just said. It's not about politics. Y'all, it's about people. It's about our people, our communities, our families, and the people we have to serve. That's it. In my life, I had many unique opportunities. I was adopted by my grandparents. We lost our farm. I joined the military. I got to experience things like getting shot and blown up in Afghanistan, really overrated. And then, it's a good story. But, I checked the box off, right? And now I also got to understand what it's like to lose a part of my body. I'm an amputee. So when you look at me, what do you see? You see a guy with really bad hair, pretty solid beard game, blue suit, and a pretty solid tie, right? So let's ask you this. What do you see now? Is it that different? Is it that different when you look at me like this? Or am I the same person? Does my disability define me, or is it a part of who I am? That's right. So I'll tell you, there aren't a lot of people in the political world who will get up here and share that part of them, but I think it's really important. I try really hard not to be a legislator. I try really hard to be a leader. Because in this country, that's what we need right now more than anything, is leadership. Guys, we are blessed to live in this country. We're blessed to live in this state. And what I want you to know is your disability, just like mine, does not define you. Do not ever let someone tell you you cannot do something. Smile, pick your head up, pull your shoulders back, dust it off, and show them what you can do. Believe in yourself. When I talk about my experiences as a dad and a husband, as somebody with a disability, a physical disability, you might say a hairstyle disability as well, right? I don't know, I guess it's a thing. But I also have someone very close to me in my family who's on the autism spectrum. Now we know it's not a one-size-fits-all approach, but it's something we struggle with, and it's something we fight through every single day. And I'll tell you, there are days when it's tough. There are days when it is absolutely amazing. But here's what I know. His ceiling is not defined by anybody else but him. He can achieve what he wants to achieve, and as a dad, I'm going to fight every single day to ensure that people like my family member have that opportunity to live their very best life, to be their very best version of themselves. And the same thing goes for each one of you. You deserve those same opportunities. So within our state government, we did a lot of work this year on the disability modeling and how we can try to help. And I had the opportunity to present a bill and run a bill this year that's very important to me. It's called the Evan B. Hartzell Act. It's named after a young man who has passed away, but he had a dream to show people that he was there. But sometimes he felt overlooked. Have any of you ever felt like someone doesn't see you, they see through you? Let's get a show of hands. I do. You know, I bought a pickup truck a few years back, and it was odd. I was a Green Beret, I was active duty, and I jump out of airplanes. I do things that are pretty unique, I make video games about it. And all the guy wanted to do was sell me a truck because of my disability. They had a disability bar and an assist. I was like, guys, keep your eyes up here, talk to me, and understand that I'm more than my missing limb. There is so much more to the story, right? I say that to get to this point. Often, people aren't trying to be rude or be dismissive. They don't know what they don't know because they've never walked in your shoes. So we have to be advocates for ourselves. We have to be advocates for each other. And we have to tell that story. So what the Evan B. Hartzell Act does is very simple. It ensures that we talk about disability. We talk about unique abilities, and we talk about the fact that it's okay to be different, it's okay to need help, but we want folks to know that there are people out there, and this is what they go through, and we have to understand that. So it teaches it in K through 12 at an age-appropriate level, and it puts it out there, but it also gives people role models. People just like them who've overcome odds, who've overcome whatever they're dealing with, to do something extraordinary, because everybody deserves to have a hero, someone to set our bar to and then blow right by. Would you agree with me on that? So as I bring this in for a landing, because I know you all have better places to do it. It is Orlando, there's theme parks everywhere, and you don't want to hear the bald guy with a solid beard speak too long. I want you to know this. You have people who care very much about each one of you. You have people who are willing to go to the well and fight every single day for each one of you. We see you. We see who you are, and we see the caregivers who work day and night and sometimes struggle to deal with their own problems and things that they have to deal with. We appreciate your sacrifice, caregivers. We appreciate your leadership for your loved ones, caregivers. But more than anything, we appreciate each of you for being here today, supporting the Family Cafe, and having a voice to show that, you know what? No one limits us. Nobody tells us we can't do that. Our ceiling is set by us. Thank you, and God bless you.
So, thank you, Senator. And we've now been joined by Representative Escamani, and please come up and say a few words.
Great to see you. Thank you so much. How's it going, Family Cafe? I am so grateful that I made it through the pains of I-4 to get to y'all in time. My name is, yes, you did. It'd be nice if we had a train, right, Mr. President? But with that said, my name is Anna V. Escamani, and I proudly serve District 42 in the Florida State Legislature, which is very close to where we are right now. And that includes parts of the city of Orlando, Winter Park, Belle Isle, Edgewood, Maitland, and the historic town of Eatonville. I am so honored to see so many familiar faces in the room, different community leaders that have worked alongside our office and other offices on policy and appropriation requests and efforts to make Florida truly an inclusive state where every person has the ability to live an authentic and wholehearted life, to reach their fullest potential. And I thank you for your leadership in that. I know Senator Smith mentioned already some of the bills that we've been so proud to work on this past legislative session, including our right to repair for motorized wheelchairs, alongside efforts with the Autism Society of Greater Orlando and Florida on elopement prevention in our schools. And this bill in particular is very important to me, as every day I think about the students that we have, the children that we have, who deserve to learn in a safe environment, and how easy mistakes can happen, and how we have tragedies here in Florida of our young people eloping from a classroom, wandering from a classroom, and ending in a place of risk and danger. And so these are two bills that made passage through the Florida House, but unfortunately were stalled in the Florida Senate. But you know that we're going to file these bills again next year and continue to push forward to ensure that all of our children are safe in Florida schools, and that if you are a wheelchair user, that you're not going to face months of delays in getting parts repaired, and also, of course, see extended costs to those repairs. With that said, I'm often asked by my peers, why do you care so much about these issues? And for me and everyone in this room, it's very, very, very personal. My uncle, who passed away a few years ago, lived his whole life with polio. He grew up in Iran, did not have access to, at the time when the polio vaccine was first coming out, never had access to it. And so unfortunately, he developed different types of symptoms because of that, to the point where his left leg wouldn't move anymore. And my grandmother actually made pockets extra long in his jeans so he would pick up his leg while he walked. Because as you can imagine, other countries around the world, and of course here in the United States, not very accessible for every person. Even with the ADA, we're very imperfect in this country, in our state. But you can imagine other countries when there is no ADA, how difficult it is to be able to get around if you don't have those abilities. And when he came to the United States as an immigrant, he was just so enthralled by the ability to have a wheelchair, to have a powered wheelchair, and to use that to have independence, to go shopping, to go to theme parks, to contribute to the household in a way that he couldn't do before. And so I think about him and his story and the struggles that he faced, but of course the benefits that he had living in a state like Florida where we try to prioritize these issues. And then I think about safety in our schools. When I was in 5th grade, I had the opportunity to be a peer-to-peer mentor to my fellow students who had autism. And it was such a great experience in the sense of normalizing the experiences of every kid and building friendships and relationships across different experiences to break the stigma, but also, of course, give opportunities for every kid to just be a kid, right? And not be treated differently because of a diagnosis, but to be able to build friendships and to learn and grow in a healthy and safe environment. And those experiences have always, always stuck out to me. And of course, as I got older and got more involved in policy, I learned quickly just the importance of early intervention for our kids. And of course, yeah, we can get applause to that, to early intervention. I love that. But also realizing that not every family has the resources to access those early interventions. And it's up to us, members of the Florida legislature, to combat these issues and to ensure that every child has the ability to learn and grow regardless of the zip code they live in or how much money their family makes. And these are areas where I will say that we need to continue to work on. And I'm sure it was already mentioned, but it's worth mentioning again, that Florida needs to eliminate the wait list for the agency with persons with disabilities, and we must ensure that our everyday constituents can access these essential life-saving support programs without delay. And you have the commitment of myself and my colleagues here, and of course members throughout the legislature, to continue to work towards that collective goal. And so I thank you for your passion for these issues. I'm grateful for your leadership. I actually was on a panel discussion last year about drowning prevention. I know there's so many great workshops you'll get to tap into and relationships to build and networks to have. And so thank you for being part of Family Cafe, and know that you have allies in the legislature who are fighting right alongside you. So y'all be blessed, have an awesome weekend, and we'll see you soon.
So we're all very blessed to have folks like these legislators who are here advocating on so many issues, but particularly for the issues that are represented at this Family Cafe and by the folks in this room. You know, they make sacrifices too, and I can tell you from experience, they organized in November. We're now midway through June. They've spent a lot of time away from their families, their friends, and so they have a real passion for what they do. And so I thank you all. I thank you, Representative Escamani, Representative Harris, Senator Carlos Guillermo Smith. He was in the House when I was in the Senate, so, and Senator Jay Collins. Thank you all, and let's give him a big round of applause. So I'm going to call Lori Fahey back up to the,
For transition.
for transition,
There
okay?
you go. I'm going to tell everybody what to do now. Ha ha. Another round of applause for them all. Thank you. Okay, well, now is the point in time, I guess if we were on Jeopardy, we'd hear that music. Do, 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 do. We're going to thank you all, and we hope that you stay and you join us in the front a row here. And I'm going to ask some of you folks to come up, some more friends of the Family Cafe. And as I say your name and ask you to come up, this is the way you're going to end up speaking. So find your seat. Department of Education, Dr. Peggy Awney. Florida Department of Education and Vocational Rehabilitation, Director Kelly Rogers. Division of Blind Services, Director Robert Doyle. And then Able United, John Finch. And I'm also going to ask Jim DeBogram to come up and introduce our Family Cafe Board of Directors. Why, the Senator and I take a seat. You want to sit up here with me?
Sure.
Okay.
No, you're good. We're good now. Hello again, everyone. You know, the Family Cafe, we have a tremendous staff here, but this event and everything that we do throughout the year would not be possible were it not for the volunteers that make up the Board of Directors. And I would like to take a minute to let you all know who they are, where they're from. We represent all parts of the state. And I'm going to start first with our newest board member, Mark Fafford. He is from St. Johns County, St. Augustine, Florida. Mark. Next, one of our longer-serving board members, Jeannie Forthuber from just up the road in Seminole County. Jeannie. Next, from Fort Myers, Lee County, Patricia Ann Oglesby. All right. And, of course, you all already know Lori Fahey, our CEO. She's on the board as well. And if you were here for the national anthem, you certainly have heard from Star Fields from Jacksonville, Duval. And then next from Miami, one of our other longtime board members, Yolanda Herrera from Miami-Dade. And of course, because there's a little bit going on in Tallahassee, she's not able to make it, but our board member, Senator Ana Maria Rodriguez from Miami. All right, next, also from Miami, Angelita Salado. I don't believe she's here either. All right, and I know one of our longtime board members, our resident shutterbug, every one of you have seen him or you're going to see him, Gil Williams. And Gil is from just down the road in Polk County. And last but not least, we have Tammy Turner from Lakeland, Florida. And folks, that's our board of directors. We do this because we love what we do, we love you, and we appreciate you being here. Let's give these good board members one more round of applause. All right, let's just move right into our next segment. Here to give us a few words from the Department of Education is Dr. Peggy Ani. Dr. Ani, please come join us.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to join you. Congratulations on 27 years of the Family Cafe. That's a great another round of applause, right? That's awesome. My name is Peggy Ani. I serve as Vice Chancellor for Strategic Improvement in the Division of Public Schools. One of the bureaus I'm incredibly proud to support is the Bureau of Exceptional Education and Student Services, and we have a team here excited to be here to support the event and to get to know everyone here. What an incredible reunion. I think that word was mentioned before. To be back together, to be able to reconnect, to learn from one another and with one another is such an incredible honor, both personally as a parent and professionally in my role. But I started my career as an exceptional student education teacher. My passion and commitment and love for that, incredible work, and as a principal. But to be here with you today and to be part of the Department of Education and support efforts across our state is truly an honor. The Florida Department of Education, under the leadership of Governor DeSantis, has remained dedicated to our students, educators, and families with a priority of protecting parents' rights, investing in our educators. I know many of our educators are here as well at this amazing event, focusing on improving student literacy and working to eliminate achievement gaps. Florida has ranked among the top 2 states for education by the U.S. News and World Report for 3 years in a row. Isn't that great? It's amazing. In addition, Florida has ranked #1 for education freedom by the Heritage Foundation and the ALEC Index of State Education Freedom. Florida also ranked #1 in the Parent Power Index by the Center for Education Reform for the 2nd year in a row. These rankings really show a direct result of our commitment to ensuring that all students, no matter learning style or academic needs, is able to achieve in the classroom. The high school graduation rate of Florida's students with disabilities continues to increase with yes, thank you. With 90.2% graduating in 23-24. That is higher than the total state graduation rate of 89.7%. We are working tirelessly to ensure doors are open for all students, including access to post-secondary opportunities. In 2023, Governor DeSantis signed historic legislation that expanded available school choice options for all students in Florida by eliminating financial eligibility restrictions and the current enrollment cap through the Family Empowerment Scholarship and Florida Tax Credit Scholarship. Florida awarded these scholarships to more than 500,000 students during the last school year. If these students comprised a school district, it would be the 3rd largest school district in the nation. The Family Empowerment Scholarship, yes, thank you, that is impressive. The Family Empowerment Scholarship for students with unique abilities is one of these scholarships, designed to offer families of students with disabilities as young as 3 years of age access to additional educational resources. 122,051 students received the Family Empowerment Scholarships for unique abilities during the last school year. The average scholarship is valued at approximately $10,000. In addition to those students, we awarded nearly 60,000 students with scholarships through the Personalized Education Program, sometimes referred to as PEP. The average scholarship is worth about $8,000, as well as close to 25,000 New World scholarships for access to high-quality literacy has been awarded. But we know that many times receiving school choice scholarship may be only part of the need. For our students with disabilities, additional services and support can make all the difference in a student's life and their academic trajectory. And navigating these services can sometimes be challenging, especially if a family's needs go beyond the academic needs. There's other ways to help. Hope Florida is an initiative spearheaded by First Lady Casey DeSantis that utilizes Hope Navigators to unite communities while guiding Floridians on an individualized path to prosperity, economic self-sufficiency, and hope. Hope Navigators are the key to what makes the model different. These experts work hand in hand with individuals to identify unique barriers and engage all aspects of the community to be part of the solution. The Florida Department of Education is proud to have Hope Navigators focused on supporting parents and guardians of children ages 3 to 5 by providing access to resources with personalized supports. Our Hope Navigators are dedicated to connecting families with educational programs, child screening services, and a wide range of resources to meet each family's needs. If you're in need of some of these supports or you know someone who may benefit, please do call 833-GET-HOPE and start working with a Hope Navigator. And the Hope Navigators are within our Bureau of Exceptional Education and Student Services. Florida continues to be committed to ensuring that all students have a pathway for future success. As an example, Florida continues to lead the nation in Project Search sites, with 41 sites in 25 counties. Project Search is a successful business-led internship program that prepares students for competitive integrated employment. The Department of Education is proud to partner with other agencies as well that are here this evening that provide amazing supports for children and families. I'd also like to take a moment and thank the educators who are here, as well as our Department of Education colleagues. If they could stand for just a moment from the Bureau of Exceptional Education and Student Services. Thank you for all of your work. I'm so honored to be able to share some of these comments with you this evening. Our team is committed to supporting you and your children. And again, I thank you for the opportunity to speak to you and look forward to what is still to come for the education system of our great state. Thank you.
I had to personally take this girl up here. You know, when you sort of watch somebody graduate from high school, move on with their life, have two beautiful children, moving on with her life. One day, you start talking to her, and the next day she starts working with you. So Kelly used to work, Director Rogers now. Boy, has that quarter flipped, right? So she used to work at the Family Cafe, and we were very sad that she left, and she went back to continue her work as a parent consultant at the Department of Health. Years of growth, our good friend here is still got your back when it comes to individuals with disabilities. She is going far. Remember her name, Director Kelly Rogers. She is a friend to you all. and a great mother to Clayton and Emily. Thank you.
Okay, that's not fair. Let me compose myself. Good evening. Well, I want to thank Lori Fahey and the Family Cafe Board of Directors for allowing me the opportunity to spend some time with you this evening. As Lori mentioned, my name is Kelly Rogers, and I'm the director of the Florida Department of Vocational Rehab at the Florida Department of Education. Sometimes you'll hear us referred to as VR, sometimes Voc Rehab. But I'm going to spend a couple minutes. It's really a privilege to stand before you to reaffirm VR's most deeply held belief that every individual deserves the dignity of work and freedom that comes with financial independence. When we support policies that help individuals with disabilities earn higher wages, we are not just talking about a paycheck. We're talking about the American dream. Freedom, absolute freedom from dependence on government programs, freedom to make choices about how and where we want to live, how to spend our money, and how to build a beautiful life. That's the role of VR. Our role is to help individuals in our state get competitive jobs that lead to independence and true self-sufficiency. And let me tell you, if you didn't know this, you live in the most incredible state to achieve that goal. Florida is leading the nation in jobs in the field of education, health services, utilities, trade, transportation, manufacturing, and each and every one of you can be a part of that growing workforce. Now, I have some questions for you. Who here wants a good job that pays well and puts you on a path for long-term success? Who here? Let me know. Let VR help you. VR is on track to serve more individuals this year than in 2024. In fact, we received over 8,000 referrals in the first 3 months of this year. And no, we do not have a waiting list. Who needs assistance in figuring out what your career goals and strengths are? It's challenging. I get it. Again, that's what we're here for. The number of individuals VR served who gained employment increased by over 37% compared to this time last year. And let me tell you, individuals in VR are getting services faster than they ever have in the history of the program. We have significantly eliminated the amount of time from the time of an application to service provision because that's what matters. Who's worried about training or education to achieve that American dream? It's challenging. VR will work very closely with you to identify how to achieve your career goal. In fact, last year, VR paid for training and education to thousands of eligible individuals. Here's a good one. Who's in high school here thinking none of this is relevant to you because a career is so far in the future? I get it. Believe it or not, I used to be a high school student as well. But let me let you know, you are now laying the foundation for your future. In fact, VR provides services to students in high school to help prepare you for a meaningful career. Let us help you. The number of students we're serving who are in high school is increasing at over 8.5% higher than last year. Now, here's the question I really want to know. Are you a parent, a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle, a loved one caring for your child with a disability? I'm so glad you're here. Navigating the resources for your child can be daunting, and I know you are so eager to find information and resources so you can make the absolute best decisions for your loved one. I also know you're hopeful to make connections with other families who know exactly the journey you're on. I promise you, those relationships will get you through some really challenging times. And those relationships will be right there with you to celebrate each and every accomplishment of your loved one together with you. You know how I know this? I've been and continue to be right where you are. My son, Clayton, was diagnosed with autism at the age of 2. He went through the programs that these incredible leaders have spoken about and will speak after me. I sat exactly, literally, I wish I had my phone. I would take a picture from this side. It's pretty cool. I've sat exactly where you are. Many family cafe conferences. In fact, I was at the very first one, so desperate and hungry to learn how to be the best mommy for my son. Listen, we've had professionals tell us Clayton's limitations in school, as well as when he transitioned into adulthood. We were told Clayton should focus on obtaining a minimum wage job in retail. After a reset with VR, they learned of his experiences and his abilities and supported him through his education and his career path to success. I am so proud that he's here tonight. You know why he's here? He lives in Orlando. I'm in Tallahassee. He lives in Orlando in an incredible apartment downtown. He's a man of faith and strength, and he's a civil engineer. Creating his own path to success. And each and every one of you are on that same track. I can assure you, if you hear anything else that I say tonight, that every decision I make as director of VR, I keep Clayton at the forefront. I also think of Carly. I think of Daniel. Daniel, I see you in the back. I know you like that money. I think of you, Daniel. Every decision I make, I think of Jonathan. I don't know where Jonathan is. Where's Mr. Cowboy? John Dutton and Yellowstone have nothing on you, buddy. But I promise you, I think about you every day in every decision I make. And I think of each and every one of you. Supporting you in achieving the American dream while strengthening our partnerships with the business community, it's not my goal. It's my expectation, and it's my commitment. Lastly, VR is offering several presentations throughout this event. We have an exhibit table. I encourage you to stop any of the VR Dream Team to ask any questions you have. They can point you in the right direction, including a referral to VR. I want to thank you for your time this evening and truly the opportunity for your trust and to serve as director of VR. I'm so confident that you will leave this weekend with lots of resources, questions answered, and new friends. I pray for your safe travels home. Thank you.
Can we give Director Rogers another round of applause? I know that Lori Fahey talks about watching her grow up, and I know we're embarrassing her, but watching her grow up. But I've only known her about 8 months or so now, and she's been a great colleague to have, somebody we work very, very closely together with our roles with the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation and Division of Blind Services, and you just did a great job. You think you've been doing this for many, many years, so again, congratulations to you. Good job. Well, again, my name is Robert Doyle, and I am the director for the Florida Division of Blind Services. I've had the pleasure of serving in this role for almost 12 years now. I want to congratulate Lori and the board, Senator Galvano, and all of our senators and representatives here. I want to congratulate you all for being here at the 27th anniversary of the Family Café. Now, I know 27 years is good because my wife and I, we've been married just 28 years now, and I know how much work it takes, but it's really a privilege to be able to be here this evening and to share with you all and to celebrate the 27th year, but also to have an opportunity to celebrate a lot of the great things that happen here in the state of Florida. You know, as I think about the Family Café, I think about an opportunity to come together and you get a chance to hear from your state senators and your state representatives. And again, we thank them for the updates. We thank you for your service. We thank you for your commitment and dedication. I can thank you from the Division of Blind Services standpoint for all the ways that you've poured into the services for the division and for the clients that we serve. It's an opportunity to meet other individuals who may share like experiences and like challenges and have like goals as well. It's an opportunity to communicate, an opportunity to collaborate, an opportunity to talk about things that can help move the state of Florida forward. But one of the great things, and we've heard it from our senators, I think Senator Collins says, you know, we are blessed to be in Florida. We really are blessed to be in Florida. I think I heard it from Dr. Ani that talks about Florida being #1 in education in so many ways. But we are truly, truly blessed to be in a state that is so committed to education being #1, and not just education, but higher education being #1 in our economic growth, being #1 in new business formation and entrepreneurial growth, and being #1 in talent development across the state. Being #1, not everybody can say they're #1, but Florida can say we're #1 in so many areas and so many categories. And that when I talk about the talent development, that includes all Floridians, including Floridians with disabilities. And so again, we are here not just to communicate and collaborate, but we're also here to celebrate what we do as a state and how we serve individuals. Now, as a director of the Division of Blind Services, I like to brag about how we're #1 as well, right? As being part of this great state, thanks to the leadership, again, of our governor, thanks to the leadership of our legislators, of the leadership of those who are working within our communities, thanks for the leadership of our parents and our advocates, right? I can brag about all of the things and being part of that system, but the Florida Division of Blind Services is the #1, the largest blind services agency in the nation. We serve more individuals who are blind and visually impaired, and we serve more individuals who have the most severe level of visual impairment. We as a division, thanks again to the support of the legislature and the governor and the leaders across the board, we serve individuals from birth to the end of the life cycle. So from our Blind Babies program, to our children's program, to our pre-employment transition and transition services program, to programs that serves individuals at our Career Technology and Training Center, our residential center in Daytona Beach. And I like to tell people, if you've ever stopped at a rest area traveling through the state of Florida, if you've ever bought something from a snack machine, you were supporting a blind operator that is trained and licensed through the Division of Blind Services. And we've got a strong program here in Florida. Our employment programs in the Division of Blind Services, we've about a 34.5% increase in the number of blind and visually impaired Floridians who have achieved employment outcomes. When you look at our peak year of 2022, we've had some challenges along the way when you get some of those bumps in the economy, but Florida, again, #1. And so, again, we've had a great increase there. Our business enterprise program, which I mentioned a few moments ago, our average vendor earnings is $97,000. The average wage for individuals going through our general or employment programs through DBS is $20.52. And we have thousands of individuals that we serve every year through our older blind program. And again, thanks to the legislature, thanks to the governor, who not only put the dollars in that allow us to draw down dollars from the federal government, but also put in more than what's required to make sure that we meet the needs of an aging population who experience vision loss. Our Braille and Talking Book Library in Daytona Beach is the largest in the nation. We've got our own zip code there. And one of the great things about the Braille and Talking Book Library in Daytona Beach is that all individuals, not only those who are blind and visually impaired, but all individuals who have a print disability have an opportunity to access audio, large print, and Braille books. And so I would encourage individuals here, if you're not already receiving services through our Braille and Talking Book Library, that you reach out to the library. Learn about those services because you have access to those as well. One of the things that we're really pleased about through the Division of Blind Services is that we have the first in the nation partnership with Vispero, which is actually a Florida company, that we're able to offer access to screen reading and screen magnification software to all of our clients across the board. So any client of the Division of Blind Service, whether you're a student in school, whether you're an adult, whether you're an individual who is older and receiving services because you have visual impairment, have access to those services in Florida, the Division of Blind Services is the first to offer that. We're pleased to say that the Division of Blind Services, again, through the leadership, I think about Commissioner Diaz and the leadership of the state, have been able to implement the first in the nation through a state agency web accessibility apprenticeship program. And so we work with our Division of Career and Adult Education, and we work with the department, and we developed a program where we're able to take individuals who are blind and visually impaired, able to bring them through an apprenticeship program where they can earn while they learn, right? They can earn while they learn, and then they're able to develop skills that allow them to make websites more accessible for Florida's businesses, so you're supporting businesses, and for other individuals who are blind and visually impaired. We also implemented, with the support of the legislator, a CompTIA, C-O-M-P-T-I-A program, which is a program that's in technology that helps individuals gain internationally recognized credentials on using a computer and gaining skills in hardware and in software. And that center is available, that Career Technology and Training Center provides services to individuals 7 days a week in terms of training who are adults. And so as I conclude, I hope I didn't go over my time too much, but as I include talking about our celebration and our opportunities to collaborate, I want to invite you all to stop by the Division of Blind Services booth. We are there in the exhibit hall. As a matter of fact, if you haven't had a chance, I think this exhibit hall is second to none. There's a lot of great vendors. There's individuals who have grown up among our ranks, individuals who are providing their skills and their talents and making products and services for us. And so please visit the exhibit booth. The Division of Blind Services has an exhibit booth as well. We want to invite you to join our breakout session tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. and we're in the Bay Hill room. And then we want to invite you to visit our website, dbs.fldoe.org or dbsonline.org. You can find the Division of Blind Services, lots of information about the services and resources that are available there. And so again, I want to thank you again for an opportunity, Lori, to be here and to share. I want to thank you all for an opportunity to be here and to celebrate, to educate, to collaborate, and be here. And we look forward to seeing you all in the coming days.
I am able man. How are y'all doing tonight? Woo! We having a good time? Awesome. Well, I have, first of all, a hard job following up you all. Great job. Give it up for our director agency heads here. You guys are awesome. You make me look good. Thank you to our legislators who are out here supporting you all, have passed and pushed some amazing legislation that you all need to pay attention to. But great job. So I have the honor and the privilege to run the state of Florida's ABLE program, ABLE United. It is an amazing, awesome program that allows people to put money aside, it grow tax-free, and not impact any of those public benefits you deserve and may be on, whether it be now or in the future. What's awesome about my job is I'm the only person in the state that does this. I'm an office of one, but I have an amazing partners across the state like VR and DOE who put this in IEPs. They put it out to their counselors to educate individuals. But we have a lot of work to do. Last year, our program grew by 20%, which is awesome. But we're only hitting about 3% of the eligible individuals across the state. So we got a lot of work to do to help people educate about a way to put money aside and watch it grow tax-free. What's awesome about this program is I also get to work with many of my other state partners across just our state, but also around the country. I was in a conference a couple weeks ago meeting with my Georgia ABLE program and individuals in Maryland and California to talk about how we can make this program even better. And one of the things that you all advocated for was an age adjustment act. So currently, if you didn't have a diagnosis or an onset before 26, you couldn't have an ABLE account. Well, guess what? January 1 of next year, that's going up to 46. Isn't that exciting? So individuals whose onset occurred, maybe a traumatic brain injury at 30, they're now going to qualify next year. Maybe they have a connective service type of disability that happened after the age of 26. Guess what? They're going to qualify next year. Here in the state of Florida, we're estimating about another 700,000 Floridians will be eligible next year to have one of these life-changing accounts. It's going to be like a super Roth IRA for them. It's exciting. So if you haven't heard about ABLE accounts, come check us out. Tomorrow we have, I think, 3 presentations. We have our own room this year Lori hooked us up with. You could come enroll. Great opportunity to come learn about this account and how it can be an awesome opportunity for you and your loved ones. Thank you all so much.
Wow. Okay, that's like, I mean, this panel was really working, wasn't it, right? So go ahead, give him a round of applause. I hope you listened to what everyone, not only here, but the group that was up before, your elected officials, okay? I hope you listened to them. They're dedicated to you all. Just as we're dedicated to the empowerment, the love of our own families and those that we care for. So hear them. They're there. Not everyone else is here. They're there for you. And I want you to remember that, okay? And thank them often. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you so much.